It's been 1 month since the election, an election unlike any other in history, from the pandemic to mail-in ballots to super polling sites. And today, the Registrar of Voters, Michael Vu, certified the election here in San Diego. News 8's Kelly Hessedall spoke with Vu about what we've learned this year that could impact future elections.
And it was a massive undertaking to pull off an election like this. It will be known as one of the most complicated and expensive elections in San Diego history.
The total number of people that voted was the highest ever.
San Diego Registrar of Voters Michael Vu certifying this year's election, an election that included more days to vote in person, fewer polling sites, and more mail-in ballot drop-off locations than ever.
This is the first time in any generation where we had to change the entire model of conducting elections. That's never been done in the history of our county.
Vu says overall the election went smoothly. Voter turnout was at 83.5%, just shy of hitting the county record. And nearly 90% of voters voted by mail-in ballot, which raises questions about how elections will be carried out in the future.
Something that policymakers, the legislature, the board of supervisors would need to take in consideration is what were the costs associated with in-person voting versus what were the costs associated with mail balloting.
He says some legislators are already looking at the idea of continuing to send out mail-in ballots to all registered voters in future elections.
There is a place for polling places. The question is how many of them and how long.
Meanwhile, some of the races were incredibly tight. The 2nd District County Supervisor race between Steve Voss and Joel Anderson came down to just 282 votes, with Anderson beating his opponent. A Santee City Council race came down to just a 5-vote difference, and the Warner Unified School Board race ended in a tie that Vu says could now be broken by something as simple as flipping a coin.
If there's any questions about that every vote counts, this is an election that you can look at to say that every vote did matter.
And Vu says they'll spend months analyzing what worked, what didn't work, as well as calculating the cost of this election. We won't know a final price tag for several months.